What's up, guys? You've probably been wondering, where the heck is Pokeball cards? Where did he go? Sorry guys, life has been kind of crazy. October was nuts for me. I did 2 big trips. I went to Hawaii and visited some friends, which was a phenomenal time. And then I also ended up going to Japan with my dad, which was really cool. I did take a lot of footage of Japan, and I hope to make some videos going forward, kind of showing some of what I saw in Japan. I know last time I went to Japan, I mostly took pictures. So this time I tried to take more video footage so that hopefully I can put together some interesting videos for you guys. But they may be a long time coming and take a while. I've been just kind of in general, life's been busy, and I've also just been a little bit burnt out of this channel and a little bit burnt out of Pokemon in some ways. You know, if you've watched my channel for very long, you know, really like probably the bulk of my videos have been either, you know, pack opening videos or maybe like conversations about the market, whether it be investments or different cards or things like that. And then I do have a good amount of videos that are PSA grading related. I actually think I've gotten the most subs from the PSA videos. So seems to be what people are most interested in right now. Admittedly, those are the most boring videos for me to make, but I do realize that I feel like that information is helpful for people. So I do like to make those that and hopefully help people grade their cards and just get better gem rates. You know, I do intend on continuing to make more of those PSA videos as I get, you know, submissions back and just kind of cover what I can to help people out. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit just burnt out on the hobby right now. Spent a lot of money this year opening packs, not getting a ton out of it. Pokemon's in a really weird spot, I think, for all of us. I think a lot of us would agree, you know, it's both exciting that so many people are into Pokemon and that there is so much popularity, and Pokemon is creating a lot of phenomenal sets. They really are. They got amazing chase cards that are coming out, and I really do appreciate that. There's a lot of cool things to collect right now. But as far as pack ripping goes, I really think that this is a horrible time to rip packs in the hobby. Just the other day, I ripped 25 Destined Rival packs. I got 4 double rares and 1 illustration rare. It was just the Yanma. And it's just demoralizing when you spend a bunch of money, you spend above MSRP, you rip that many packs and you get nothing. That's very brutal. It kind of just makes you, like, when you have that happen a few times, you sort of just go, Pokemon's okay with ripping us off. And I don't know if I want to be really participating in that right now. Like, I think I've come to realize that my favorite sets to open are high hit rate sets. It's Ground Zenith, it's 151, it's Celebrations, it's, you know, early Scarlet and Violet sets. It's the things that have the higher hit rates are the most fun. Paldean Fates was a lot of fun to open, high hit rates. Like, technically we have higher hit rates nowadays where we get a lot of double rares, but you guys know I hate double rares. So I want to get other cards besides double rares as hits. So I'm just struggling a little bit, like feeling like the value's not there. We're paying more for packs than we probably ever have been, and we're not really getting a lot out of it. So I don't know. I can't really recommend opening packs right now, to be honest to you guys, and I'm probably gonna take a break from that for a while. I do have some 151 and some Crown Zenith and some Paradox Rift kind of stockpiled, and I may pull from my stockpile here and there and just kind of open it on my channel for fun. But I don't know, like I've kind of just stopped even tuning into the all the Discord server alerts, the X alerts, you know, the Twitter alerts that tell you, oh, this thing's in stock. I was doing that for like the better part of the year, and I'm just like kind of like, nah, I don't think it's worth it. You know, I just don't think it's really worth it, and so I'm just ignoring them. I don't even open them anymore. I need to just turn their notifications off a little bit. I've actually been focusing in the Pokemon hobby. I've mainly just been focusing on collecting vintage. I've been like trying to work on filling out my Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge binder that I started. When was that? I probably started that at the beginning of this year, maybe the end of last year, something like that. Slowly been working on that over the course of time, and recently I've been putting a little bit more focus into that. It does take a while though to get that thing done, I'll tell you. But yeah, it takes a long time to put those vintage sets together. You know, it's a lot of cards to track down, and they've all kind of gone up since the partners, you know, Pokemon sets came out, since we had Journey Together and Destined Rival, where it features, the owner's Pokemon on it. That really seemed to prop up some interest in Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge, which is kind of cool. I mean, I think those sets deserve a lot more love than they get. I've always really liked those, even since ever since I was a kid. I just think they're really cool. I think the artwork's phenomenal. I love like the trainer on the card. I just think that's great. Fortunately, they haven't blown up nearly as much as some of these other like slabs and other high-end cards and stuff like that, and some of the modern cards have. So that's not too bad, but I've been kind of focusing on collecting some of that. And just kind of been taking a little bit of break from content. I do want to get back to making it. It is a lot of work, guys. Like a video like this where I just talk at the camera, this is very simple. This is very easy. Low editing, easy to put together. But some of those other videos that I put a lot of like editing time into and stuff, it can be quite time consuming, and then, Pokemon's kind of a weird niche on YouTube. You don't necessarily get a lot of views. So it's not what I'm trying not to say is like, oh, I'm feeling sorry for myself, I don't get enough views for my videos, but it's just more of a practical thing. Like my logical side of my brain's like, is this where I should be investing my time, or should I be investing it in something else, So I probably will be just kind of making videos as I feel like it, or as I feel like I have a topic that's useful or that I really just want to talk about or whatever. But I don't know if I'm going to put the pressure on myself to have a video every week like I was before. It's just like, there's other things in my life that I think might be better places for me to put my time, like that are actually going to reap more of a greater result, if that makes sense. So yeah, I still want to make content for you guys. I still love Pokemon. I really do. It's still a huge hobby for me. Still collecting, but it is hard to stay kind of psyched up all the time. And I think we probably all, I would love to hear from you guys, but we're probably all a little bit wallet fatigued, I would assume. I know for me, it's like, this has been a very expensive year in this hobby. And I'd love to hear what you guys' perspective has been as well, but it just kind of wears you out a little bit when you're spending high amounts all the time. I know everyone talks about this boom just perpetuating on forever, but I just don't see how that's possible. I think people's wallets just run out. I think this recent kind of downturn is actually that. I think a lot of people are just like kind of out of money. Now, we're not having a major downturn. Some people are talking about it being a crash. I don't think that we're in a crash. We're in a correction. We've had a gigantic rise, and then now we're pulling back a little bit. You could say we already hit the peak and we're just going to keep going down. There's not really any evidence for that right now. I haven't seen any steep, sharp, like declines on most things. Most things are holding pretty well. A lot of the vintage cards are holding or still going up, which is a good sign. It's like the cards with fundamentals are typically doing pretty well. The higher pop modern cards might have pulled back more. Some of the boxes pulled back more, but they went on some crazy runs anyway. So I don't know. I mean, if you bought a year ago, you should be still feeling pretty good about what you've bought as far as like, the value being up. But we need to talk about that a little bit with the value, because I am a collector and an investor. I invest a lot in sealed product, and I also do some speculations on some slabs and a few singles, but ultimately, like, I'm definitely a collector first. Like, I'm in this hobby because I love Pokemon and I love collecting the Pokemon cards, and I love the artwork and I don't know, the fun of the chase, all that kind of stuff. I enjoy grading. I enjoy hunting down cards to grade, and there's a lot of things I enjoy about this hobby. Investing is not necessarily like something that I'm like psyched up and excited about all the time, but I do think that it works, and so it's been a valuable place to put some money and watch it grow. But I do worry when I see the hobby becoming only about money. And this past year, I feel like we've been in a place where that's kind of been the case. Why is it that product sells out on shelves right away at MSRP? Well, it's because people know they can flip it instantly and make money. So, that whole side, this whole sealed product side right now, on release feels like it's all just about making money, not the joy of opening it. And that's probably a little bit exaggerated because people are buying this stuff, a lot of them to rip it and open it. But then it's demoralizing when you spend $200 to $300 on a booster box and you don't get much out of it and you don't get an SIR. To me, that's not worth it. I think we should all stop ripping this stuff and kind of give Pokemon the middle finger a little bit and demand like some higher pull rates, like demand some better cards out of this. That's me. I think the gamblers have taken over the hobby. So it's a lot about the high chase, the high stakes. People want really, really tough card to pull. They couldn't care less if everything else in this set sucks. They're okay. I mean, Phantasmal Flames is what, like $250 box. Maybe it's a little lower than that now, you know, and all you got is that gold Charizard and that Charizard SIR. You know, I mean, that's it. You know, it's just like your chance of getting that out of a $250 box is so small, you know? So I like the bigger sets with more SIRs and more IRs and higher pull rates. You know me, I love like Paradox Rift. I love how they evolved, you know, type set design and pull rates. I think that was about the sweet spot for me. But, you know, unfortunately, the gamblers have spoken. The gamblers have won this whole entire... The sealed product that we're buying in the store is entirely run by gambling now. It just is. And so everybody wants some big, crazy, expensive chase card. I don't personally get it. I don't know why you guys want a $500 to $700 card on release. To me, that's insane. It just makes the hobby more expensive, harder to afford. You know, and then it's like... It drives up the sealed product cost, you know, and investing to me used to be a time game. It was a patience thing. It was you bought a box that nobody wanted for 90 or $100 or 120 or whatever. And you just held on to it and you just waited and you were patient and your patience was rewarded. Like that was the point of investing. Now it's more about like instant, like how can I get, you know, 200, how can I get 100% right away, right now? It's all about money. And, you know, and then you got big companies, which, you know, I agree with PSA. You guys know about that. I'm sure you've probably heard lately, PSA has been buying up slabs like crazy for these mystery packs. And then some people think they may be in cahoots with GameStop. GameStop's introduced their mystery packs, which are full of slabs. And the odds are just really against you. It's not worth it. But they're buying up all these slabs to put in these mystery packs, these digital ones where you open it digitally, and you can instantly flip it back to them for like 50% if you don't want it or whatever. And so it's just, you know, more big money coming in, pushing towards more gambling. You know, it's very frustrating to watch. Like at my core, I love this hobby and I love collecting and I want to see people be able to afford this stuff. Like I think maybe the top chase in a set should be 200 or less, you know? Like, I mean, I think that's even pretty expensive. There's a lot of people that won't be able to afford a 200 card. A lot of kids won't be able to afford that, you know, but it's like this idea that we have to have these $500-$700 cards. We have to have, you know, more mystery packs that cost $1,000 and $200 and $500. And we're just gambling on these big slabs. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's good for the hobby and it's wearing me out. It's kind of like making me want to pull back a little bit, you know? I don't know. It's just tough. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that, but I've been having a hard time seeing that. And while we're on the subject of PSA buying these slabs up, I mean, I think there's a major conflict of interest. They're grading the cards and then they're buying them back. I mean, I think right now they're probably above board, but there is a world where over time this could become corrupt. There's a world where PSA grades your card that deserves a 10, a 9. Then they offer you to buy it back for you. And you're like, well, it's a 9. I don't want to sell it. Yeah, I'll just let PSA buy it. They buy it, they crack it, they regrade it into 10. I mean, I don't think they're doing that right now. I would hope that they would never do that because I think I would hope that PSA has been this long enough to understand that preserving their reputation is really important. I think they do. So I don't think this is going to happen, but it is sketchy. Like it leaves the door open for sketchy behavior like that. I don't know. There's a lot of other ways that they could, you know, do manipulative things with the market. They also have a lot of money just to buy up things. One thing that I'm finding frustrating too with all these, you know, mystery products now, especially with slabs, is some of them are buying up vintage cards and it's like, okay, whatever. A lot of these some of these are buying modern cards, and the modern slabs, a lot of times they have high pops anyway. So it's like, whatever. But some of them are buying some of these big grail vintage cards. And it's very frustrating because like vintage is smaller pop, you know, it doesn't take many more people interested in vintage for it to rise in value. And some of these cards are just getting out of reach for people that have been longtime collectors that have been saving for some of these cards that want these vintage grails in their collection eventually may never be able to afford them because, you know, now they're just going to get all bought up and stuck in mystery packs and, you know, used for gambling. It's just like, what a sad piece of history for those two, because those vintage cards have so much history behind them as well. I want to see them go into the hands of collectors who love this hobby and are passionate about it, you know? And even if that person's rich, like, I just want it to go into hands of people that like Pokemon, that love collecting Pokemon cards, not going into like big, you know, businesses and, you know, big, you know, mystery pack sellers and, you know, big corporations like GameStop and, heck, I don't know. Maybe the next thing on the horizon is the hedge funds investing in, you know, trading cards and I don't know. I think they've already been doing a little bit with sports cards to a degree. And I'm like, I don't want that money in here. Like, this is meant to be a hobby that's fun for people and nostalgic and an escape from real life. And it's like some of that passive, slow investing is great, but when we start to make it all about just money right now and greed right now, it does kind of suck things away. It kind of sucks your love for the hobby a little bit. So, yeah, this is kind of a little bit of a downer video, and I apologize, but I just wanted to kind of share where I'm at. Like, I'm feeling just kind of burnt out with this market. I'd love to hear what you guys are feeling. I am still definitely collecting. I'm still excited about some of these vintage singles that I'm picking up to put in my, you know, Gym Heroes Gym Challenge Master Set. I've also picked up some random Neo cards as well. I think I love Neo. So that'll probably be the next things I'll work on when I finish Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge. And I'm actually kind of thinking maybe I'll just work on them in parallel, because some of those cards too could get out of reach if I wait too long on them. A big card that I still need for Gym Challenge is Blaine's Charizard, and that one's gonna hurt. I think the light play price is like 400 or more. It's like over 400. Near mint's even crazier, and so it's like, whew, man. So I made dip even to like moderate play for that one. Like, it's really not my favorite card. It's way down the list for me of holos in Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge. I don't tend to like the Charizard cards where you just get like a bust of his head and that's it. And that's what Blaine's Charizard is. Like, you kind of see his wings and his head sticking up to the sky and he's just blowing fire. It's not my favorite Charizard. I just think there's a lot stronger Charizards in the hobby, including base set Charizard. So it's like a hard card to get excited about spending that much money, but I do want to like complete the Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge. So may just pick up like a lower quality copy for that. But I've been trying to get like higher quality copies for the holos that I really like Erica's Dragonair, Misty's Golduck, a decent copy for Giovanni's Gyarados. That's a great card. Sabrina's Alakazam, love that one. I already have Lieutenant Surge's Furo, which is my favorite of the whole set. I love that card. It's one of my favorite cards in the hobby. And I got a nice clean copy of that with a swirl. I also got a clean copy of Blaine's Moltres. I ended up getting a decent copy of Sabrina's Gengar, the Gym Heroes one, the holo. I actually cracked a PSA 6. So it's got some scratches on the holo foil and a little wear on the back, but pretty good, you know, and that's a card that's really blown up because Gengar fans are just going nuts right now. Everybody, and that's a little, I'll get a little sidetracked here for a second. I genuinely love Gengar as a Pokemon. I have for a very long time. Like, I feel like I've always liked Gengar, but I especially really loved Gengar right around like Pokemon Go time, really even a little bit before then. Like, I really enjoyed Gengar a lot. Like, I had a whole team of Gengars that I would use in raids. Even though they were not very powerful, they were glass cannons. They had tons of power, very little health. They would die super easy, but I just loved using them because I loved Gengar. It's sad though. It's like now I almost like don't want to be a Gengar fan because everybody else is. Like everybody is on the Gengar bandwagon. And so it's like, and I think the same thing happened to me with Charizard, because I loved Charizard so much as a kid. Now I'm just like, kind of tired of like the Charizard hype. Like there's Charizard cards everywhere. Everybody collects Charizard. Everybody wants Charizard. It's like I just start to get kind of tired of it. It doesn't mean like I hate Charizard, but it's not as special to me as it was when I was younger, you know? So honestly, I enjoy a lot of like kind of second tier Pokemon, or either first tier, like, but like not like the S tier that everybody wants, you know? But anyway, that was a big old side note. So yeah, I got some of those holos in, which is really great. Working on some of the other kind of smaller cards too. I have huge gaps in Gym Challenge for like commons, uncommons, rares. I did get a little while back, that was like probably 2 months ago, I got an Erica's Venusaur. Very, very nice. Very near mint copy. Like probably a PSA 8 quality, maybe a 9 quality. Raw. It wasn't great, it was raw. Very, very nice card for my Gym Challenge set. So I'm really excited. I think I love those sets. I love those old holos like a lot. I really do. So yeah, when I get kind of a little bit further along, I'll probably make a video and just kind of show you guys some progress. I think it's fun to see vintage cards personally, but yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. I don't know. The hobby's been interesting to me. I keep looking for like more interesting content on YouTube. It's like I want to stay plugged in. I'm always browsing on YouTube looking for like interesting, Pokemon content. But I keep feeling like I just see the same things over and over, the same stuff repeated. It's very hard to keep content fresh in this space. I definitely struggle with it. I think a lot of other creators struggle with it. And unfortunately, like the content that is often most interesting doesn't do as well. People seem to like either the drama content, or they want to hear that the sky is falling, the market's crashing, or they want to watch some scandal video. Which is a bummer, because I think like sometimes the most interesting content is just watching a creator or two have a conversation about what they love or what they're collecting, or maybe memories they've had in the hobby. A podcast I've really enjoyed is Next Gen TCG. They took like a huge long sabbatical, I guess you could say, like a break, like probably almost a year they took off. I was listening to that podcast all the time before, but they recently came back, which I'm really excited about. It's Tetra and Gem Mint Pokemon. Awesome dudes that have deep knowledge in the hobby. Like they know all about all these trophy cards and just like error cards and different variations and the numbers of copies, and they have a lot of history of knowing what the price movements have done. And honestly, I find it really fascinating. Of the vast majority of stuff they talk about, I could never afford to buy, but I find it fascinating. It's very interesting. It's like I learn a lot listening to their podcast. I enjoy when you can watch something that kind of educates you about a part of the hobby that you don't know. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good time to like dig into some of those, videos or podcasts. I would love to hear from you guys if there's, things like that, like Next Gen TCG or something almost like a Ruby Retro, or even like Pokemon Classics, like some of those videos where they kind of go into a little bit more depth. They talk maybe about some older stuff, or they have just a little bit more of a deeper knowledge of the hobby. I'd love recommendations. Throw them in my comments. I'd love to check them out. Because yeah, I think there is great content out there. Sometimes it's hard to weed through all of the sort of fluff content to get to the good stuff, and I don't know, maybe I'll start even just like trying to share a little bit more of my knowledge. It feels weird because I feel like if I show you guys parts of my collection, I don't want it to feel like it's a flex, like I'm throwing it in your face, and I also don't want it to feel like I'm trying to pump up something that I have, because like a lot of the stuff I just love. That's why I have it. Like I'm not like one to show it off to pump the card, but maybe that'd be interesting. You can let me know the comments if you'd like to see anything like that. I'll share one thing with you. I think this was already in my PSA return video, but here's a card I got back from PSA recently. All right, I'm just holding my phone, so you'll have to forgive me. This is not the greatest thing. Unfortunately, this got a 9. I don't really know what I was thinking. I made that video recently. I was wondering why it didn't get a 10. But if you look at the holo, there is like some lines on the holo, horizontal. Guys, I opened this like literally fresh from the pack. So whatever that is, that came from the factory. And I realized it was on both of them and it was pretty much identical. And so I think PSA just caught that and was like, well, we can't give it a 10, which is fair. You got to be very careful. The holos have to be pretty well perfect on a vintage card to get a 10. So I should have known better. I don't know how I missed that, but I do want to talk about this card. One area of the hobby that I've really loved since about 2012, 2013, that's really been special to me is the Japanese unnumbered promos. So you can see this is a 1999. Right here in the bottom corner, there is a number, but it's number 3. And of course, that's the number they have up here. Well, number 3 is just Venusaur's number in the Pokédex, right? Like Venusaur is Pokemon number 3. So this card is not uniquely numbered. It's not uniquely identified. And so they called these Japanese unnumbered promos, meaning they don't have their own unique number. You just have to identify them by the card. In this case, you can identify it really well with this Game Boy symbol. And this is interesting because there was straight Game Boy promos that were actually released in like released with the game or released with like guides and things like that. And a couple famous ones I can show you sometime. I have one of them. One of the two, I have the Game Boy Mewtwo, which is a gorgeous card, by the way. I slept on the Game Boy Lugia and now it's like really expensive. So that's going to be painful to add to the collection one day. But those actually came in a set together. This one actually came in the Trainer magazine, but with the Game Boy stamp on it. And there's also a Game Boy stamped Ivysaur too that's a non-holo that kind of goes with this. And I have that one ungraded, but I really wanted to get this one at a 10. I think at this point, I'm probably going to settle for a 9 for now. This is one of my favorite Venusaur artworks in the hobby. I just think it's so good. I love this artwork. If you're very familiar with vintage cards, you'll probably recognize this artwork. It's on the CD promo Venusaur, although I believe they have him centered in the frame instead of off to the side. It's also on the Black Star promo, which was basically based off of the CD promo and based off of this one. It's probably more based off of this one. But yeah, the Black Star promo in English has this artwork. And then there is the Squirtle deck. So probably a lot of people don't know about this. And I'll show you guys. I'll make a separate video on that. But there was a whole VHS starter set where you had a VHS tape where you learned how to play Pokemon, and you had 2 decks. And one of the decks had had little Squirtle icons on all the cards, and one had Bulbasaur icons on all the cards. And so I said Squirtle, but I meant to say Bulbasaur deck, from the Bulbasaur deck. And so, yeah, so this card, there's like, as far as I know, there's 4 variations of this card in the hobby. If you know of a 5th one, let me know. There's 3 Japanese ones and 1 English. For whatever reason, this Game Boy one is my favorite, but I'd love to have all 4 of them eventually in my collection, just because I love this artwork so much. And I understand why they used it multiple times. To me, this artwork is far superior to base set Venusaur. And I know that's going to sound like blasphemy to some of you, but I love Venusaur as a Pokemon, but I don't like where he kind of looks like a fat toad. I mean, even though he is kind of a toad, like, I just think this looks better. I think other modern variants of Venusaur look better. I think there's a lot of other cards that are nicer for Venusaur. But yeah, this is a real fun one. It's the Japanese old back, as they call it. So if you're searching for these cards like over in Japan, a lot of times they're called old back because before they switched to like the gold back on the cards. I like this blue one better, although this one is harder to grade. It gets scuffed up more easily. The modern back that they have on the new ones seems to be a little bit more durable, so it is kind of nicer for grading. But yeah, really fun card. But I love collecting these. I feel like this is kind of a hidden part of the hobby, and it's become more known. Still probably relatively hidden, but they're fun. They're just beautiful artworks. This one obviously is not exclusive art to Japan, but a lot of unnumbered promos are exclusive to Japan. So kind of fun little show and tell for you guys today. So yeah, I mean, I think I've rambled on enough here for like a half hour, maybe not the most interesting video, but I wanted to let you guys a little bit know let you guys know just kind of how I'm feeling right now in the hobby, why I haven't been releasing a lot of videos. They are a lot of work. I'm just looking at the stack of videos I have from Japan. It's like, whew, it's going to take a lot to put that together and to write a script for them and all that kind of stuff and narrate. So yeah, maybe it may take a while coming out, but and maybe I'll just even roll just some footage and just talk behind it to you guys or something. But yeah, I would love to hear how you guys are feeling in the hobby. I know for me, I'm just a little bit burnt right now, but I'd love to know if you guys are. Are you still hyped? Are you still feeling good? Like, do you feel like your pocketbook is feeling good, or does it feel pretty wiped out? Like, let me know how things are going. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'll try to get another video out here soon. I did get a whole slew of cards back from PSA, and I actually hit my first 100% gem rate, at least with a TCG bulk submission. So you won't want to miss that. I'll have to tell you about all of that. And that's changed my mind quite a bit, actually, because I did not think it was possible really to do that with such a large submission. But I'll share my findings there with you guys sometime soon. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for always supporting the channel. Yeah, it really means a lot to me. I appreciate you guys. I wish we could meet in person sometime. Maybe if we're ever at a same card show or something, I'll let you guys know if I go to another card show. You guys take care. We'll catch you later.